Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
The first division championship in 30 years. The Lions have clinched the NFC North. They've clinched the number 3 seed. Welcome to the postgame show. My name is Stick. We went a little nuts. The camera's a little crooked, but it doesn't matter right now. Nothing in the world matters to me except for what just happened in Minnesota. Anson, me and you have done a lot of post-game show. Every post-game show done by Woodward Sports in the past 3 years has been done by me and you. When we started doing the post-game show, the Lions couldn't buy a win.
None.
It was rough. COVID was going on. Nobody could even get in the stadium to watch the teams. Then the next year, a little bit better. We got to celebrate 3 wins. Now here we sit right now, 11-4. Your Detroit Lions have clinched the NFC North by beating the Minnesota Vikings. Not by backing into the playoffs, by going into their house and beating them silly.
The division champs, in fact.
The champs here.
Yeah, the new champs are here.
Anson, how you feeling?
I'd be feeling a lot better if I could get some champagne, my friend. Because we told y'all we weren't cracking a bottle this year until we won the division.
Right.
And that is today. So
it's absolute chaos
Give
around
me
here.
some bubbly, baby. Pour me some bubbly.
Mics are getting tipped over. Cameras are getting messed with. But it doesn't matter. None of it matters.
Man, meaningful football being played here at Christmas time in Detroit. Yeah. And it's not a letdown.
Nope.
I mean, we've been here before. There's been letdowns. And this game, got a little close, got a little tight, got a little crazy. But at the end of it...
Come here,
Booter! He's all soaking wet.
Come here, Booter! Let's go! And I got to hand it to this man right here.
Oh, man.
I got to hand it to Booter. This season, there were people that doubted the Lions because they had ups and downs. A while ago, it was they weren't going to win another game. They couldn't win a playoff game. Booner, you never wavered. You never wavered.
Stay the course.
You
liar, baby. Let's go.
Hey,
Liars,
Booter
baby.
Path 2023.
Booner's a realist.
The Booter Path. Everyone jump on it.
That's right. Man, so much positivity today. Lions got out, and they got on them. I've talked ad nauseum over the last month about the script for this Lions team to follow if they want to win. And that's getting out, scoring points, putting together a meaningful drive. But then the other big thing that we've been talking about is this team being able to start the second half off. Let's talk about their first drives to start each half. 27 plays, 15 minutes, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns, both trips. That's the way you start a half of football, and that's the way you start a second half of football.
And we've seen it over the last 2 games. I mean, last game was probably the most complete game we saw all season. This game, this was, I'm going to say the words, SOL, and this was every opportunity for this to be an SOL game for the Lions.
Sure.
To throw away the division because of a missed extra point. To not close it out in Minnesota when you were up 10 going into halftime. Then you allow a bullshit touchdown to Jefferson. Yep. Then, what was it, 3rd and 26, and they convert at the very end. Like, this had all the makings of tearing down all of our dreams and that familiar feeling. But once again, this team showed you there's something different. Showed you they have something that no other team in the past 30 years have had.
Never in my life Never in my life have I seen the Detroit Lions win a division title. Not only are they winning the NFC North for the first time in franchise history, they won a division title for the first time in my life. This is the best football team I've seen play in Detroit in my 27 years of existence. It's amazing. How about if you motherfucking motherfucker? Yeah, sealed it with the interception. How about Brian fucking Branch with those interceptions? How about Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, the first two rookies in the history of the NFL to both have 9+ touchdowns in a team's history.
Crazy.
Brand new Lions, winning mentality. Let's fucking go.
And how about the new AG we've seen the past 2 weeks?
Yes.
By sending men, by blitzing, by pressure. That is something we haven't seen all season long, and it's looked pretty damn good on the Lions lately. So AG, give credit to where credit's due. People, you can bitch about anybody on this team. You can do it, and that's fine. It's your prerogative. I've gotten shit over not letting people say their thing this season. You can complain, but what you cannot say anymore is this team is not a division champion. You cannot say anymore that AG didn't lead your defense to a division champion, that Jared Goff didn't lead this team to the first division championship. There's no more. Everybody gets their flowers today because of what they've earned. Now, are they going to sit on that shit and that's it? No, we hope not. We got the Cowboys up next Saturday, and that could determine the number 2 seed, and then you roll on into the playoffs. But for God, for the next 2 weeks to the end of the season, no Lions slander is allowed in front of me, or I am smacking people. What? There's even if you don't like a guy, it's fine. You can not like him, but he was a part of a division championship team. They've earned your respect. They've earned it.
100%. And I love that you bring up AG because the Lions were all over the place defensively today. Talked about Brian Branch and Melifonwu. Those guys were streaking everywhere. But there was somebody in Mullen's face all day long. I don't know what it ended up being the exact ratio with that last drive. But towards the end of the fourth quarter, the Lions had created pressure or gotten to the quarterback on 66% of the snaps. And that just absolutely changes everything that your team is able to do. It keeps your defense out on, or your offense out on the field longer. I mean, we dominated in every fashion here today. Time of possession, yardage, 4-1 in the turnover battle. Now, we gave up 411 yards to Mullins, but he also tossed
4 picks.
And you know how many yards they had on the ground? 17. They had 17 total yards today.
And it was a team effort, once again. I mean, who can you point to that was the absolute star today? Amon-Ra St. Brown, obviously. 11 catches and 100.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Gibbs had a day.
Kirby Joseph.
Laporta didn't have a day, and that's okay. They still got it done. I mean, J-Mo made some nice catches over the middle, too, that we haven't seen out of him lately.
And turned what would have been a 4th down somehow into a 3rd down completion. Yeah. I was impressed with your boy today. I got to say it. Big love for J-Mo today. And he didn't have to get in the end zone for me to give him the love because he took plays that most other guys would have been down, and he turned the markers.
What a
fucking
forward. Christmas present. What a Christmas present to the city of Detroit.
I was honestly just going to slow things down and just send one message to everybody. Just Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
No doubt.
This is a beautiful thing. Like I tweeted out earlier that there's going to be dudes shedding tears today. I mean, think about what we've been through as Lions fans. And I'm not going to have a big Super Bowl celebration like we've accomplished the goal just yet, but think about it, man. Think about Matt Patricia. Think about Steve Mariucci. You know, think about Rod Marinelli. Think about Coach Bobby Ross when he came in. Ross was okay.
Don't speak on the 2 M's though. I don't even want to hear his name.
No, think about Matt Millen. Think about Martin Mayhew. Think of everything that had to lead to this team being put together and what this city has endured as fans. You know, no one's complaining about ticket prices right now after last week and after this game. But I mean, what we've been through. You're wearing a Joey Harrington jersey out of jest, right? Because it's a fucking joke, right? It's a joke. And that's what we got to. It could be a Kitna jersey, too, because he wore number 3. Like, Mike McMahon. I mean, I could go on and list horrible players, horrible draft picks, horrible everything. And to sit here today and know what it feels like to have a winning team is so bizarre. You used to, like, you know, peer over the fence and wonder, what's that like?
Yeah.
And now the Lions have it.
Well, the Lions showed today exactly what Lions fans have done throughout their careers. They were resilient today. This was a game, like you said, could have absolutely fallen in that SOL category. Listen, an NFC North Division game in December and January, I don't care how bad the team is, it's just difficult to win, especially going on the road. And mind you, this is the defending champion of the division. Lions went in there. They faced some adversity, which they have all season long. But, you know, Spencer's talking about, you just can list guy after guy after guy that at moments like this, You know one of them stepping up.
Yeah.
And you know, back in the day when games were tight, you weren't like, oh, give the ball to Barry. That was something you gave in the first, you know, to blow the game up. We have so many weapons that have just consistently contributed at huge points of every game this season. It's got to give you tremendous confidence taking these guys into the playoffs.
No matter what happens in Dallas, I'm comfortable, right? Like you know about this team. We've talked. But and they've locked up the number 3 seed at worst case scenario. There will be a home playoff game in Detroit.
Yeah. I want 2 though.
Who doesn't?
Right.
Let's get greedy. You can do that now that part 1 is accomplished. But the home playoff game in Detroit, downtown, is going to be an absolute zoo. Yeah. A zoo. I cannot wait for. I've waited not my whole life. Listen, they won.
I've waited my whole life.
They won when I was 12, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm 42 years old. This is gonna be on my old man shit. We've waited for this a long time, and it's here, boys. Yeah. It's here. There's no longer gonna be fake memes about banners going up in Ford Field because they get to put divisional real banner up in Ford Field. Mm-hmm. The first one in history. Think about that.
There are real banners.
We're going to watch a banner in Ford Field.
The first NFC North Division championship in the history of the Detroit Lions. Amazing accomplishment. You're hosting a playoff game in Ford Field for the first time in my life. This is something I dreamed of. Yeah, this is something I dreamed of.
Hudson Building has been waiting a long time for a playoff game, man.
Fucking wait.
It's awesome, bro. I'm really happy for you guys because I know this, but it wasn't until Spencer said it during it. There's a lot of cherries that got popped at Woodward Sports tonight with this win. There really are. Because, I mean, like, him and I go back and forth, Stick and I, and a lot of these guys, and we've been alive for it. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're so bitter. But for you guys to get this first one, it's really special seeing the excitement and really even a little bit of the fighting in the fourth quarter. We weren't sure how it was going to go. It's just because everybody wants it so bad. Whether we've had one before or not, it's just a great day for Detroit Pistons.
It's not even football for these young kids, though. Think of how shitty the Pistons have been their whole lives. Think of how bad the Tigers were, except for a little 5-year stretch there. And the Red Wings, you know, when me and you were growing up, 90s Red Wings, D-Mac will tell you, they were it. Like, Red Wings were it. They haven't had that.
I saw early 2000s Red Wings. I got the 04 Pistons, but for a majority of my life, it hasn't been anything special. And football is my first love. Yeah. Football is my sport. And to see this, my favorite team, go out there and make this happen, it is just amazing. And right here, hey, Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers, go fuck yourselves. The Detroit Lions own the NFC North.
Give it to them.
You guys can go suck a Christmas schlong. The Detroit Lions won the NFC North. They're going to keep the NFC North for years to come. Good luck looking up at us for the rest of your fucking lives.
I love this comment. I'm crying. My dad and I love my grandpa. They didn't get here to see this.
Yeah.
Like, think about all the people. You know, my dad passed at 65. He saw one in his entire life. One playoff win. I mean, it's just a special moment for everybody. And everybody's home with their family. Yes. So hopefully you got to enjoy it with your family, with your dad, with your brothers, with your sisters, with your mom, whoever. Because this is, I mean, I was saying it during the watch party. We got to enjoy this together, guys. You're going to be talking about this. Yep. Hopefully, honestly, we're not talking about this in the future because it becomes the norm and not like, remember the one time they made the playoffs, we were all together? But this is something we will remember.
It's, you know, and it sure feels like this isn't going to be the only time. I think every other team in the past, you kind of felt like it might build, but you had that exact worry is that this stuff is just going to dry up immediately. And this
shout out to Sheila Ford Hamp.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But remind you, this wasn't done with Hawkinson and done with Okuda and done with Swift. This was done with rookies, dog. I mean, these guys are here for a while. They're on awesome contracts. We got some things and some quarterbacks to tie up, but the longevity and the window for this team, that's the most exciting part to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Charles Smith, my grandpa passed this year. He wore his jersey all season. My grandfather is dead. Dad is in the hospital, and we fucking are going to get a home playoff game. Like, it's breathing life into this city, man. I know Kool-Aid's working the phones right now. We're going to get those going. 313-552-6322. We got to go around the world and know how you're feeling. Pete, We haven't heard from the elder statesman on this.
Elder statesman, actually 48 years old, gonna be 49 on Thursday.
Happy
And man,
birthday.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I almost died today, dude, because this is the absolute shit. I mean, 1991, 93, they're so far freaking gone. How can you not win a title with Barry Sanders, Herman Moore, Brett Perriman, Johnny Moore? Come on, man. This is freaking great. And like you said, Stick, I'll never forget this. We had a freaking fun day, man.
Yeah, it's historic. It's something like like I was saying earlier in the show, when we started doing post-game show, this was so far off on
rough.
even if we could ever get there.
Right.
Like ever, it started Anson and I sitting on my couch rooting for a one and whatever team. It was week 9 before they get their first win. It's just
But we went a full year without a dub.
a calendar year.
You remember the Victory Mondays?
We got the wall in the back. I'll go take a picture. Yeah, a full calendar year. So, I mean, just how far this team has come and how they got here. And, like people are like, when did the Lions become good? Like my mom asked me that. My sister was like, I can't pinpoint it. There's no... They went to the gym, they started working out, and now they're strong.
They hired Brad Holmes.
They
hired Brad Holmes.
No doubt.
And they hired Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
And Sheila Ford Hamp breathed confidence into them. When they were 1-6 and everybody was freaking out, she went out there and she said, these are the guys. These are my guys. They're going to get it right. They're going to do this. And they have.
And she did it right because this is the first time in my lifetime of being a Lions fan that they went out and got football people to get in the room, talk football, and find the right guys that know football to run this team.
Chris Spielman.
And it was always a whole bunch of, backroom good old boy handshake partnerships with executives that had never been on the field before. And now you've got this circle of honor in Honolulu Blue that has really done everybody, the city and the fans and the team, proud, man.
Kool-Aid, we got people on the phone, baby. Let's get to Kool-Aid on this, too. We haven't heard from Kool-Aid. You're the soft-spoken guy of this group. You cover the Pistons right now. Let's get you to talk about something fun for a second. How you feeling?
Man, my heart is still going, bro. Like, this is so crazy to experience. It's the freaking Lions, and they just won the North, man. You talk about those post-game shows that you and Anson did, man, and I was kind of like tagging along at some of those over the years and seeing you guys with the passion, but covering a bunch of losses, man, especially the Justin Tucker one. Man, you don't understand, dog. This just means so much, man. Just as Detroit sports fans in general, yo, I didn't expect necessarily for it to even feel this way. I thought when they win the division, it'd be like business as usual. I'm in here in the booth right now like, man, come on, Kool-Aid, keep it together, man. Let's get these phone calls rocking, this show cranking.
Yeah, this is
The
history.
energy is live.
This show is history.
This
This is a time capsule of history right now that we're live streaming. Like we can't lose perspective of that. Like if in 20 years people are gonna go back and be like, what did it look like when the Lions actually finally broke through? And they're gonna check on this. They're going to see it's us with twisted cameras, dropping fucking microphones, drinking champagne, spraying it on each other.
Twisted cameras.
Like, it's just, who cares, though? I mean, like,
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that. You know why?
No.
Freaking
The Lions are
Because the
11-4.
Lions are division champions.
Lions are
Right,
11-4.
baby.
The Lions won the NFC North. They're going to host a playoff game for the first time in my life.
Crazy.
Kool-Aid, let's go to the phones, baby. Who we got?
Hold on, let me get
They're
myself
going to
together.
win
All right,
a football
Bigums
game for the first
Is
time
there
in
any
their life.
Oh,
headphones up there?
I don't know.
Thanks.
Yeah, Bigums
Oh,
from
You know
Salt Lake
Biggins
City,
is there.
man.
You know Biggins is on hold. What you got to say, buddy?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, on the 12th day of Christmas, the Detroit Lions gave to me an NFC North championship for the Woodward sports family.
Yes.
Man.
Beautiful.
How does it feel?
Flipping fantastic.
You
my
know,
friend.
I do want to say that 3rd and 27 at the end of the game, that pass was for 26 yards. That was 4th and 1.
Yeah.
They even had it 4th and 1 on the bottom of the screen, and they spiked the ball. That should have been a turnover right there. So anybody who wants to say thank the referees for helping us with those other calls, they messed up that call. We should have had the ball right there. That should have been the end of the game. He was 1 yard short.
But aren't you happy?
But that
the way
doesn't
it's
matter
end, though?
because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because these are the brand new Lions. You know, back in May after the draft, I loved the draft so much I bought a brand new Lions hat. And this summer in July, I went on a cross-country road trip, and we drove through Missouri, we drove through Kansas, we drove through Colorado, the 3 states where everyone had Chiefs gear. Oddly, where they have Chiefs gear in Colorado, I don't know why. Every single truck stop, every single restaurant, I had my hat on, and I said, we're going to beat the Chiefs in week 1, and we're going to go to the Super Bowl. And they all laughed at me, and they're like, yeah, right, you're the Lions. And you know what? Yeah, right, we're the Lions, and we're the champions of the NFC North. And, it feels good.
Yeah, it feels great.
Feels awesome.
And you guys, you started off the show talking about, no specific player was player of the game, and you ran down a list of names, and there was one name you didn't mention. And that's our quarterback. That's my quarterback. That's Jared Goff.
He was good today.
That's, 30 completions out of 40 attempts, 75%.
No turnovers.
257 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 turnovers, 1 sack, 99.7 rating, passer rating. And, we were watching the game chat during the watching party, and at halftime, there's people in chat saying we need to cut Goff when we have the lead, and he hasn't had a single turnover. And there's people saying Mullins throws such a good ball. He threw 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
What's so pretty about, so what are we talking about? People need to give up on this. Jared Goff is terrible. He is our quarterback. He's taken us to the top. We're 11-4. We're currently in second place in the NFC. We're looking at we're possibly a number 1 seed. Who knows what could happen if the 49ers lose to the Ravens, and the Rams could be playing a playoff game against the 49ers in Week 18. We could be the number 1 seed still. So people need to stop the Jared Goff slander. He is our quarterback for the future. Because right now we're 11-4. And we're going to the Super Bowl.
And that's it. That's why I said there's just no more. Even if you don't like the guy, even if you don't think he's the man at any position, even if you don't think the coach is the guy at any position, it's too bad for you. Yeah. And I feel bad that your guy got the job done this year. If you don't like the defensive backs, guess what? They're the defensive backs of an 11-4 division championship football team. Mm-hmm. If you don't like the linebackers, guess what? They're the linebackers of an 11-4 division winning football team. If you don't like the quarterback, he is the first guy to win you a division in 30 years. What else do you want from the man?
How many Lions quarterbacks have won 11 games in the last 75 years, Stick?
One maybe? One?
Come on, man. I mean, the hate for this guy, there's never going to be a quarterback safe in Detroit. This team could have 3 championship rings and a MVP, reigning MVP, and they'll still be calling for him. I mean, I'm not trying to see Hendon Hooker right now. I'm not trying to see him anytime soon. Change is the great indicator of failure in the NFL. And I can't believe that Lions fans, after such a large taste of a quarterback carousel filled with failure for decades, that you guys are calling for this guy's head. It makes no sense.
Either way, let's move on because no slander.
Nobody's calling for his head right
now. Nobody should. It's all over. It's all over. We're all on the same team now, right? We're in the playoffs. Win a home playoff game. Let's go. No longer. Oh, I don't want this guy. This guy's gonna blow it. No more. We can't have those conversations in Detroit.
You mean the same division championship team we're on?
Yeah. There's no more doubt. There's no more doubtful conversations in Detroit.
No, get rid of it.
What's up, Booner?
Most wins ever in Lions history is 12. They're 1 win away.
Yeah, most wins are. Yeah, and they got 2 games to cover 1 win. Kool-Aid, who else we got on the phones right now? 313-552-6322. My phone is blowing up right now. People are treating me like I won the Super Bowl because they know we've sat there, man. My family's made fun of me for years during the holidays. My friends make fun of me for still caring about the Lions. This is when it all pays off, baby. This is what 30 years of stress finally pays off in. Who we got, Kool-Aid?
We got Tyler from Clarkston.
Let's go, Clarkston.
Hey, guys.
How you feeling?
Real fast, I just want to start with brand new Lions.
Fuck yeah.
Yes, sir.
BNL.
My cousin's here, Philly, and I've been trying to get him in the Detroit Lions football. I mean, he's an Eagles fan, but we watched this game. I looked at him, and I was like, man, is this the same old Lions? I mean, that 3rd and 27. Jay Jettas caught that pass over 2 of our top-end corners. I was like, okay. Like, realistically, they might score here, and we're going to lose by 1 point.
Yep.
What we were watching. And guess what? The brand-new Lions, Iffy Melifonwu. I'm telling you right now, that is the culture change. that's the difference right there. The same old Lions and the brand new Lions right there. That was when that happened.
Yeah,
that exact play.
And you know, when the offense struggled to like put the ball in the end zone and handed the ball back over to the defense to win the game, I think everybody was kind of nervous about that, right? You know, of all the sides of the ball you want to decide the game for the Lions, you want it to be in the offense's hands. The offense didn't get it done at the end of the game this game. They didn't have that 4 to 5 minute drive. But you know what? It was a team win to where they were able to turn it back over to the defense and trust that they weren't going to put up 7. But yeah, I'm with you guys, man. My butthole was about this tight.
Hey.
Like, here we go again, 4th and 26. They convert. How does this happen?
Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, we've seen it way too much, man. And I'm glad the crown's in our hands here. And like Sheila said last year, man, they come to Detroit to, you know, get to the North. I mean, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. All roads run through Detroit. You know,
that's right.
At the end of the day,
and then
I mean, I can't say enough good things about Sheila. To be honest with you, I mean, she's insane. You know,
we love Sheila.
All that she's done for the community, get this turnover, and I mean, she hasn't lied one time. I mean, it's just. I'm so excited to be a Lions fan, man.
Remember 2 years ago when the Lions were sucking and everybody was looking for answers, and she's the one that came down out of the stands, talked to the press, told them, listen, Dan Campbell's still my guy, the plan's still in place, and that's what happens when you back the right people.
Yep.
And it's so nice when leadership backs the other leaders that they hired to do that job.
And for the most part, she's stepped up and done her job when needed, like that, and then she's gotten out the way.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that the Ford family and the prior regimes have always had here. There's been too many chefs in the kitchen, guys stepping on each other's toes. But she's really just given this team to the people that she brought in to hire and run it. And it's just something we never saw. You know, he talked about the end of that game and wondering whether we're going to win or not, and then having people in Detroit. I think by the end of this decade, people are going to be talking about Ford Field and Detroit Lions fans the same way they were talking about Seattle a decade ago. And if people start fearing coming to Detroit, because we've talked about it, after this year, after a nice run, we're not going to be that Cinderella story. People aren't going to be rooting for us as much anymore. But they're scared to come here. They're scared to have Detroit come there because it brings so many damn fans with them.
Yeah, the fans have done an incredible job this year. Incredible. In the chat and just, you know, being a part of this post-game show, too. Kool-Aid, who else we got on the phone?
Hey, look, man, I got my man Devin from Inkster, yo. He brings the energy.
Let's go, Devin. What you got to say about the Lions Division Championship?
One time for Lucas, man. I wish he was here for all this shit. Let's go, Lions, man. Woo!
Let's
Man,
go.
it's wonderful, man. 30 years. I'm 29, and my granddad used to talk about times like this and how he loved Barry Sanders. He got me the hat, and for the first time today, I could wear that hat proudly. My voice is gone, man. I'm on my way to my family's house to go give my dad the same old Lions fan, a King of the North shirt. I got to get all you guys sizes so I could drop one off next week for you guys.
Schmedium. Schmedium.
2X. Anson. I've been waiting for this.
Tell him.
Are you a same old Lions fan still?
I've never been a same old Lions fan. I've never been a same old Lions fan, my friend. My thing is, I am a devoted Lions fan.
Tell him.
And I have, since these guys started, well, really 2 years ago, I have said to so many people, I believe in the longevity, the long-term trajectory of this team. I love that they are shaking the norm on how you build a team, and they're building this team like the Pittsburgh Steelers used to. I am not letting go of SOL until I see this team in a Super Bowl. But what we saw today is a
Eat shit, Anson. They just won the division. They're hosting a playoff game. There's no fucking SOL anymore. SOL is gone. We got the right guys in place. We got motherfuckers doing shit that has never happened before in the history of the NFL. Our rookie tight end is breaking records. We have two rookies with 9+ touchdowns. Never happened before. Our secondary, 4 interceptions to seal the fucking division championship. Get SOL the fuck out of here.
Says the guy who wasn't alive last time we were here. All I'm saying is this. I can't wait to put it to bed, okay? I need to see a little bit more, and it started today.
Yeah.
I
I don't need to see anymore. I honestly don't need to see anymore.
The dog loose. Spinny, I'm gonna let the dog loose in this Spinny. Spinny is the dog of Woodward Sports. Let's get him going. Let's get him fucking fired up. Spinny, I want to fucking hear one more.
Let's fucking go, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this defense stepping up. We got Anthony stepping up. We got Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Kendall Vinder. These guys coming out of nowhere. Kendall Vinder playing his ass off. Tackles, pass breakups, making things happen. 4 interceptions off that pussy Nick Mullins. Kirby had 2 of them. Let's fucking go, dude. Fuck the Vikings, fuck the Packers, fuck the Bears, the Lions run the North.
Fucking Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, children.
Merry Christmas.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
guys,
And you can do that, Spence. You know why? Because we the champ.
Because we the chance.
Right.
What's up, Pete?
Hey guys, just real quick, we have a bunch of super chats coming in. Certified Supply Chain, Tim 20Man getting laid tonight.
Oh, yeah, he
and
is.
then
Hell yeah.
and then he does another $10 chat. NFC North for the first time in franchise history. Turn up, let's go.
Let's go.
Brad Holmes is the GOAT. So thank you very much for all the super chats. And then Matt K, $50 super chat. With
Damn.
LFK, baby.
Let's fucking go, Matt K.
Matt K. How long is this celebration gonna like tomorrow when we all meet up with the families? How good is that? Like I'm gonna
gonna
walk
be amazing.
in with the biggest saunter tomorrow. Like we did something we've never done before because we pretty much did. So like. I think I should wear a mink coat tomorrow to Christmas.
Hell yeah.
That's how we're feeling right now. Like everybody, go get your cardies, go get your buffs, walk in with mink coats tomorrow, maybe some gaiters. Like we got to show out in Detroit tomorrow because this is a celebration, bitches.
Man, the last decade, I wasn't even really allowed to put on the Lions game during Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't
It's
even
been my life.
consider
It's
it
been my
during
life.
Christmas time.
Yeah.
But now, I wouldn't be surprised. My mom's got, some breakdown tomorrow. I know the game's not on, but let's watch some breakdown, man. It's the time of year to have this gift from this team. It couldn't be any more special, man.
Kings of the North.
Kings of the North.
Kings of the North.
Your meat is bloody tough. The Kings of the North, bro. I've waited my entire life to see this happen. I've waited my entire life to have a Lions team that gets impact rookies. They got 4 of them. That has depth. You got guys popping up like Ife Melifonwu, Kendall Vinder, Malcolm Rodriguez, big plays today. Guys that are third stringers, going out there making plays. Great coaching on all levels. Insane, fantastic GM, making all the right calls. This is the most complete Lions team I've seen in my entire life by far.
Yep.
And it's just an amazing thing to see what they're doing.
It'll be amazing when this defense starts playing on the same level as them.
But the defense won this game.
That's exactly where I was
won
going,
this
man.
game. No
What
slander.
they did today.
No slander zone.
No, it's not
No
a slander
slander zone.
No slander zone.
I was working towards a compliment because what we've seen is this team.
Hey, you fat girl, but you're cute in the face. I was working towards a compliment.
Listen, this team, you alluded to it earlier. This team has either had to come back with their offense, or they've had to run the clock out with their offense. And their offense wasn't able to do that today despite putting up 30 points to win the game. And to see the defense come out there and hold on the road against the division champs, that was really exciting for me. I'd like to talk about the running game real quick, though. Okay.
Preach.
So,
Jamir.
interestingly enough, when the Lions have 28 carries or more, they are 10-1 this season. When they have 27 or less carries, they are 1-4. So what we were worried about the last maybe month and a half was seeing Monty get a little bit more. I felt like they were kind of leaning a little bit too much on Gibbs. And what I've seen over these last 2 weeks is a real balance and a running game that can take them through the playoffs.
Well, let's be honest. That's the recipe for the Lions to win. If they get ahead of you, they are a tough team to come back on because of their ability to run the ball. If you take away that run option and they're coming back and they're in predictable pass situations, they're not as good of a team. I mean, Jared Goff's great in the play action. That's for a reason. That's because of the run game's working. So, yeah, that all makes sense to me on paper of why it would be that way. In the last 2 games, they've played from ahead.
That is your strength. That is your big
You
on
gotta
big.
get ahead, right.
When healthy, you have the best offensive line in the NFL. You have the best tandem of running backs in the NFL. You can run the ball on anybody. We saw it. Oh, the Chicago Bears have the second best run defense in the league. What happens? You go there, you run the ball at will. The Minnesota Vikings, they have the 5th best run defense in the league. What do? You run the ball at will.
But what about their aggressive blitz packages?
Oh, but yeah, they're not going to be able to get through that. Yeah, see? They have the best offensive line. When these guys are healthy, they have the best offensive line in the NFL. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are the best running back tandem in the NFL. Feed them the ball, especially when it gets to last couple weeks of the season. NFC North Division, cold. You're going against rivals. You're in playoffs. You play smash mouth, angry football, 100%. Control the ball, run the ball, win games.
Now, Spencer, you kind of alluded to it there. I want to bring you back. When the Lions were in that stretch where they somehow went 4-2 despite being in a big turnover loss, and we had those 2 games where people were sounding the alarm, the offensive line was a little banged up. And we had Monty out for a couple of games. And we saw them really give the ball to Gibbs and him start to figure things out and the games start to slow down with him. But there was some games during that stretch where I really felt early in the game they were passing the ball too much.
Yeah.
And what we've seen in these last couple of games since the offensive line's gotten healthy, like you said, and since they've been evening out the carries, I've been seeing a lot more running a lot earlier on, and that suits this team to win far better, as no matter how good our passing attack is.
Jahmyr Gibbs has won me and Booner a lot of money these past couple weeks. He has won me and Booner a lot of money in these past couple weeks. Keep feeding them the ball. He's explosive. He finishes runs. Yeah, he had the fumble today. I think that was his first fumble on the season. I can't recall him fumbling before that, but he shook it off, and he came back in, and he made plays.
You know, with Laporta and Gibbs setting rookie records and being the first to be over 9 touchdowns and Gibbs really taking over, and then, I just really want to say that, Jalen Carter would have been the right pick.
You fools! Fools! Hey, I got a question because we didn't actually get to it on the Friday show. But who would you rather have in this offense? Bijan or Jahmyr Gibbs?
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs is a better running back than Bijan Robinson.
Isn't that crazy to think about? Because back in April,
I can't tell you 5 running backs in the NFL right now I'd rather have over Jahmyr.
Man, isn't that sweet?
And it's just the tip of the iceberg too. Yeah. That's the best part.
Yes.
We haven't seen it all. Kool-Aid. Who else we got, baby?
Kid is special.
Hey, we got Fletch in South Florida right now.
Let's go, Fletch, out on his yacht.
Hey guys.
How you feeling?
I'm in Central Florida. How y'all doing today?
Real good.
Great.
Go Lions. Hey guys, this is surreal. We were going to do this all season, but to actually see it come to fruition, it's amazing. And I want to thank you guys for taking us on the journey every step of the way, whether it was good or bad. But we all got through it together. I've been a fan since I was 10 years old in 1980, and we haven't had a whole lot of good years, But today, it's just amazing to see what they've done. And we know that the North is down a little bit this year, but the NFL it's a weird thing. The good teams are good, the bad teams are bad, and Detroit is one of the good teams. And no matter what happens from this point on, we have accomplished something this year, and I think we're only going to get better in the future. So thanks again, guys.
Hey, we appreciate you being a part of the journey, and that's what I like. Midway through the season, I'll admit I was getting frustrated with some people, and because it's a journey. You got to enjoy the ride. Like, the tough moments make the good moments even better. And just like today, that game was tough at the end, but we were all on the edge of our seat. Like, that's enjoyable. Like, that's the fun of being a part of a winning team, is you don't know what's going to happen next, and you're hoping and praying. We used to just hope and pray, and then it turned flat on its face. Now it's like, oh my God, they got to stop them from getting a touchdown with 2 minutes to go. How is this in the world ever going to happen? And then you watch it happen before your eyes. This is just a magical time of the year, a magical 30 years since this has happened. 30 years, Anson.
They could have made this last month on us way harder, still won the division, but these games that, the old school Lions fan in me, I was just so scared, but at the same time confident. But they haven't done what Lions teams have done in the past.
No.
This thing's locked up with 2 weeks to play.
2 weeks. They didn't back in the playoffs. They came in and dominated the division.
That's right.
And even though they had a couple divisional losses that we didn't see coming this year after they ran the table last year, that kind of came as a shock to you.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a learning process for our fans, too. Like, even when the team's good, those division games are going to be tough.
Yeah.
And, and like we used to pride ourselves as Lions fans, like, well, at least we played the Packers tough, and that's the way it's going to be for them in the end against us. Now that we're whooping ass, like they're going to be like, well, at least we like the Bears fans are happy splitting with us.
20,
super happy.
20-5. Sleep on that.
Under Jared Goff in the past 25 games.
20-5, Lions fans.
Good team right there.
Crazy.
Kool-Aid.
Yes,
Who else we got, man? The champagne's kicking in. The cheeks are rosy. It's starting to sweat. I've been dancing up here. We're ready.
Hey, look, we got Ziggy from North Carolina.
Ziggy!
Anson?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
What's up, Ziggy?
Hey, I just want to say I love you, boys, and thanks for all that you do for us Lions fans. I've been a Lions fan my whole life. I'm 26 years old, like you, Spenny, like Boone. I'm on the Booner path. I believe we can do it. I believe in this team. And, yeah, man, I also was thinking about this. With the way that these safeties play, I know Iffy's kind of an in-between guy, but the way these safeties play and getting Chauncey back, we might have the best safety room in the playoffs. I know that, but still, that's going to be tough. But once they get the ball, they're either going to have Tracy flying in 90 miles an hour, or they're going to have one of our playmakers back there like Branch, Iffy, and Kirby looking to hawk it.
That's what's crazy about this team is I don't think anybody in this room feels they've played their best football yet. Have you? Mm-hmm. Like, don't you feel the defense can play better? Don't you feel the offense can click a little bit better? And that's what's scary about this team.
Yes, sir. Dude, I feel like we can put 40, maybe even a 50 burger on any team on any night, just depending on how they're feeling.
Yeah. The offense gets rolling. They are tough to stop, man, and it's fun. It's so bizarre to have a good football team. Like it's really tough for me to digest right now.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting seeing CD Deuce get back into this lineup. Did you see the choice words he had for Mr. Deebo Samuel this week?
No.
Oh,
him and Deebo have had a rivalry going.
Oh yeah,
this year.
Wouldn't that be a sweet NFC Championship game? Unbelievable matchup.
I'll take that. 313-552-6322 is the phone number. 313-552-6322. Kool-Aid, we got more people on the line.
Oh, you already know it, man. You already know it. We got Cordell from San Antonio.
Hey, San Antonio in the house.
Big girls in San Antonio eating them churros.
Riverwalk.
You just had to hit me with the Charles Barkley, didn't you? Hey, man, I remember being 10, 11 years old when I watched my first ever Lions game, and they lost and went 0-16 that year. Here I am, 26 years old now, and I had to have my wife pinch me, dog, like, is this real?
Yeah.
We finally got a good team. You mentioned 25. I remember last year when we started 1-6. I told my wife, I said we should fire Dan Campbell because 9-7 wasn't good enough, but 1-6 is. Was I right? Was I wrong? I'm so happy I was wrong in that moment. I'm so happy I get to eat my words. Man, I've not stopped crying since we won that game. I feel like we should do anything we want to do now.
You know, Dan
conquer
Campbell.
the world.
I'm gonna go nuts back.
You know, do we have any post-game stuff from?
I know Dan Campbell's crying.
No, it's amazing.
Let
you
me say real quick.
Hold on 1 second. You mentioned like you being with your wife and having her pinch you. I'm guaranteeing one thing: a baby boom in 9 months in Detroit because people are going to be making babies tonight.
How many iffies are going to be made right
There's
now?
going to be iffies.
How many
Jared's
iffies?
going to be a great name. Campbell is going to be the first name
Brian's.
of a bunch of babies.
We're going to call him Branch?
Yeah.
That's his first name.
Yes.
But I gotta say real quick, I'm gonna apologize to Anson for yelling at him earlier in the year. I didn't think I would, but I'm gonna apologize now because I'm in such a good damn mood. Ain't nothing gonna get me down right now. And oh my God, 3 sacks and a pick in 2 games just signed me back to the team.
I did not catch any
I'm
of
not
that,
sure what you said,
but I'm sure it was fantastic.
I said 3 sacks and a pick in 2 games.
Yep.
Just signed Iffy back to the team.
He's been awesome. He's been absolutely awesome. You know, Go ahead.
Oh, I think we lost him.
I'm thinking about some of the things that he said. Think about where this team and the fan base was at the end of October last year. Fire AG, fire Campbell. How the hell could you trade Hawkinson. I mean, the whole city was ready to blow this whole reclamation project up. And then they go on an 8-2 run. And then they go on a 20-5 run. Then they win a division. I mean, as a Lions fan, this is one of the reasons I have pushed guys to be a little, just calm down. Take a deep breath. This is a long thing. But what we have been able to do in these 2 years is take each and every step and put every single thing to bed that we have worried about. At this point, it's playoffs. It's all going to come down to what I worried about because I felt this was a playoff team. Can they handle their business? And just a couple weeks ago, we were worried about limping into the playoffs. This team, the momentum and skill that they're carrying right now going into week 17 has to give Spencer, it's got to give you a ton of confidence in how this team can fare once they get to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you look with the offense they have, they can go toe-to-toe with anybody. With the offense that they run, they can go toe-to-toe with anybody. They can score on anybody. They can run the ball. And if they're forcing turnovers like they have in this game, they will win. That is how you win in the NFL. You run the ball, you force turnovers, and you don't turn the ball over. And although they did have that one fumble, they made up for it by going out there and intercepting the ball that many times. We could have sealed it with a turnover if our guy Kamish would have fell on the ball, but we sealed it with a turnover anyways because Iffy made the pick. So I love seeing that. If you force turnovers at the rate they have, you're going to win a lot of football games. If you run the ball to the level that they have, you're going to win a lot of football games. No, so it's impressive to watch.
So you are kind of the defensive guru around here. The defense that we've seen on display these last 2 weeks, it seems different. You're seeing guys coming out of an upright stance a little more than their feet in the dirt. Or their hand in the dirt. Is this a defensive style that AG and the Lions can sustain through these last 2 weeks and take and exert their will on playoff level teams?
I think it is. I think you made the right decisions. You made the right changes. You put in Iffy Melifonwu. He's got, 3 sacks and an interception in his 2 games played. You put in a guy like Kendall Vinder or Khalil Dorsey. Khalil Dorsey is kind of getting burned at the beginning there.
Yeah.
But Kendall Vinder showed that he is a solid tackler. He is going to get up there. He is going to make a hit on a player that gets the ball in front of him. So you have guys that are stepping up.
And what
you
house
have
is
guys.
He from? What house is he from?
Kendall Vinder?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Slytherin.
Oh, yes. Slytherin. And then you've got guys coming back like a Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, like a James Houston, like an Aleem McNeil that are hopefully all going to be ready for the playoffs. That just enhances this defense so much. So,
guys, imagine adding those 3 to this defense today.
Yeah.
I mean, we know how much of a party it was here inside Woodward Sports when the Lions secured their first division title in 30 years. Pete, you got a video of Iffy? This is Iffy inside the locker room. This is what it looked like inside the Detroit Lions locker room when they did something they haven't done in 30 years. Let's see it.
Love to see the guys having fun, man. Enjoy this.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Enjoy this.
Think about being a Detroit Lions player, right? Everybody's always telling you about it's the same old Lions. You're going to go play for a poverty franchise. You'll never be able to turn it around. They've tried over the years. It's never happened. It's never happened. These guys are the first to get it done in 3 decades. They're the first ones to get the Lions potentially to a home playoff game and a Super Bowl and beyond. The statues that will be built to these guys if they come through with this mission is going to be insane. And you know they feel that pressure. Even if they're not a part of it, you hear Jared Goff address it like, hey, I don't feel the 30 years. But you're addressing it right now, so you're aware of it, right? If it wasn't a thing, you wouldn't even be talking about it. So those guys, in these moments, I hope are taking that extra step of gratitude too, knowing that what they're delivering to everybody is beyond just the wins. Because lots of teams win. Not lots of Detroit Lions teams do.
One statue for the 2023 season. Who is it?
One statue?
Dan Campbell.
Sheila.
Ooh, Dan Campbell. I like that too.
Or
Sheila,
Brad
huh?
Sheila.
Not a player. It's going to be Dan or Brad, huh?
Listen, I got a daughter
Maybe the
coming
two of them
in
like this?
February, and I may name her Sheila. That's just how it's got to be. Uh-oh, what you got?
You could call her Hemp.
There we go. It's a lock.
That backfield.
It's a lock.
That backfield, though. Wow.
You love to see it, man.
Anybody missing DeAndre Swift right now?
Who? No. Never heard of her. Who else we got? Who else we got, Kool-Aid? Let's get to the phones, talk to the people. I know there's parties going all around the state. I got to take off in like 5 minutes. I'll let you guys finish because rumor is Santa's going to be at my house about 6 o'clock, so I got to make it. It's a big day around the Stick household.
It is.
Lions clinching divisions, Santa's popping by, and who we got on the phone, Kool-Aid?
Hey, we got Freddie 313.
Freddie!
Hey, the great poets, 3-6 Mafia. Who run it? Who runs the North? The Lions do, baby. Oh, man. So many emotions. I relate to the dude crying. I'm going to get an HOA write-up from the HOA. This big ski-mask dude was crying and pouring beers and champagne on his head in the yard. Don't care. I've been waiting 30 years to feel that feeling. I just have one thing to say about this whole situation here. This is for us. I celebrated after that pick like we all did. We're all going to remember where we were, what we were doing. We're going to remember this Christmas Eve forever.
Yep.
And how special it is. But as soon as Howie and Terry and Strahan came on my TV, click. I don't give a fuck what they have to say about us. This is for us. Right. This is for everybody out there, the real Lions fans. This is for people who woke up the day they found out Barry retired. This is for the people who didn't wear those goofy-ass brown paper bags. This is for the people that survived the two Matts, Matt Millen and Matt Patricia. These are for the fans that endured the torture from Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers for 30 fucking years. This is for the people who endured this 0-16 season. This is for people who can actually... Oh, sorry.
No, you're
No,
fine.
go on, Freddie. You're snapping right now.
You haven't been able to do this in 30 years.
Yeah,
Go,
do
Freddie.
not stop.
Cook.
Oh, I thought you said hold up. Okay. As I proceed here, this is for the ones who had to justify themselves to their friends and their coworkers about the team they root for. Speaking of the teams you root for, this is for the people out there when you were a kid, you didn't switch to a fucking Troy Aikman jersey or an Emmitt Smith jersey when you were playing football as a kid, or a Jerry Rice jersey. You wore your goofy Lion Scott Mitchells and your Joey Harringtons. You didn't turn your back on this team ever. This win is for us. And most importantly, this win is for the people who can now embrace BNL over SOL. This win is for all of us, folks.
Yeah, eat shit, Anson. No,
Cheers. Hey,
shut up, Freddie. Way to preach, brother.
And once again, cheers to all the fans that have endured. Like, this is your moment. You know, everybody who hopped off the bandwagon doesn't get to enjoy the purity like you guys who stayed on. And that's part of the game, folks. If you wanted to stick around and take your ass beating for 30 years, you get to celebrate a little bit more than the people that are just back these past 2 years.
Yes, we do.
Because you know what that curb stomp to the back of the head feels like. Because it's been 30 years of that. Yeah. Today, you get to celebrate a little bit.
But hats off to Lions fans.
Oh, dude, the best fans in the world. Someone said that's who the statue should be built to. The fans.
There you go. Well,
sticking it out with this squad.
I want to know how many fans were at the Cleveland game when they went 0-16. Because I was there at the Silverdome. We talked about this on Friday. The Silverdome was packed when we went 0-16. Lions base, we want to chase every quarterback out of town. But the Kool-Aid and cornbread runs so deep in Lions fans. And honestly, this is so well-deserved, man. I know you and I, like you've said many times today, we go back a few years back to the couch. But there's just so many people from the grandfathers.
Shout out Casting Couch.
That's right. The grandfathers and fathers and great-grandfathers that we've heard the stories about today.
Right.
I mean, it's awesome.
Think of being able to sit down with your dad and share this memory with him. Yeah. You know, like I said, I lost my dad. I didn't get an opportunity to watch a Lions playoff win as an adult with him. You know, we would text each other after every big game, after every upset. You know, we never got to sit through this. So, enjoy it with your family. I can't stress that enough.
No doubt.
And it's so stupid that this is where we are as a franchise. Like, oh, my God, this may never happen again. It hasn't happened in 30 years. But that's the actuality of the situation. That's how deep this runs with Detroit Lions fans who've never left this team. And those people, I salute you. I cheers you. This is your night just as much as it is anybody else's night. And like I said, you can walk into Christmas tomorrow with your nuts hanging out.
Yeah.
And ladies, your nuts too.
Proud.
Well,
Watch the screen.
Who's really happy?
Yeah!
Baby down.
30 years? How does it feel to be a division champion?
Oh my gosh, unbelievable, unbelievable. This team deserved it. They were played so hard. It's such a tough place to play. The Vikings played so well, but we did it.
What does that scene in that locker room mean to you?
It means everything. It's amazing. The team is so, obviously, you can hear them. I don't know what's flowing, champagne, beer, I'm not sure, but I noticed all the people with cameras had plastic over their cameras so they don't get soaked. Anyway, it was awesome, just awesome.
You know what's
Shout
awesome?
out Dapper Dan.
Yeah, Dan Miller.
No,
man.
and
the fact
Jennifer
that Dan
Hammond.
Miller gets to call.
Jennifer Hammer, thank you.
Nobody's deserved to call a Super Bowl game more than Dapper Dan Miller.
Yes.
No. But what's cool is Sheila Ford Hamp is rich as hell, right?
Yeah, she is.
Wasn't she a Firestone before she married into the Ford
she
family?
Was.
That girl could buy everything in the world, and that's the thing with these guys that own NFL franchises. Jerry Jones, he could buy anything he wants. You saw that yacht during the draft that one year.
One thing you can't
buy.
But
you can't buy that feeling.
Yeah.
You
No
can't
doubt.
buy walking into a locker room of a clinching division championship team.
Well, the Dodgers are trying to do it right now.
You could drive by, but it may not work out, and that's what's so awesome. Someone as rich as Sheila Ford.
She deserves this, man.
And she should.
She
She should
deserves this.
enjoy it more
In
than
a
any of us.
hoodie, getting doused in champagne.
Yeah,
you know?
she gets down.
So it's gonna be
I think I
Sheila-
saw her at Flight Club one night.
Little Sheila Day, huh? Are we going Sheila Day? Is that the deal?
Shout out Sheila, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Sheila.
Sheila loving the champagne showers.
She deserves
Dude,
this.
she gets down.
She deserves this more than anybody, man. She deserves this more than
Boys,
anybody.
I don't want you guys to end the show. If Spence, you want to hop up here and you guys keep going?
Sure.
I got to take off. Like I said, I got a 7-year-old. Santa's popping over, and I got a pregnant.
Gotta be there.
I got a pregnant fiance at home,
You
so
do.
I got to bust out of here. Lions are winners. I'm champagne toasted. We got people on the line. You guys can continue to take them if you want. Are we wrapping it up, boys?
Yeah, that's right.
No, keep going.
No, Pete wants to keep going. Anson, Booner, why
Hey,
don't you
Spence,
hop
come
up
in here
here?
real quick.
Booner, hop up here. Booner, hop up here. You guys finish the show.
Booner.
I'll talk NFC North
Let's
chance
go,
all night.
Lions! We did it!
Jeez,
We
sit tight
did
the
it!
sound.
This means so much! Let's go, Stick! Let's go, Booner! You never left us! Let's go! I love you guys.
All right.
I love you. I love you, Sheila Ford.
I don't even know what to say right now. I guess we're taking over, Anson.
Booner, are you nice and wet? Now I gotta tip my hat to you. He's soaked here in blue Kool-Aid. My
Beer.
man, you have gone out in the middle of winter 11 times this year. Tell us how it feels for you, your first Central Division North championship.
Central Division.
Central
This is
Division
the
North. Put
This
them
is
both
the
together.
NFC North, Anson. We've won the NFC North for the first time ever, the Detroit Lions
feel?
have. I feel great. Look at me. I look like a mess right now. But it's one of the best days of my life. I said a
glorious
minute
mess.
ago I don't want to leave the studio because I feel like I just won a champ. We did. We won a championship ourselves. I'm sure the guys in the locker room are the same way. I'm out of breath still from all of that. And I smell like beer.
So while we're waiting
Seriously.
on a couple of them to come back, let's nitpick a little bit. We had no Riley Patterson. Michael Badgley came in, got a field goal blocked. This has kind of been the Achilles heel of this Lions team all season, their kicking game. I believe that it's forced them into a few more fourth downs than they would have been comfortable with.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be a problem?
I mean, a problem. That's been an issue, I think, all the time. I mean, you see the Dallas team, their kicker, they got off the couch and he's
Aubrey,
kicking
crazy.
60. Yeah, he's kicking 60-yard field goals. So that is going to be an issue. But at the end of the day, the Detroit Lions, I mean, they've been going for fourth down for the last 3 years since Dan Campbell's taken over.
Yeah.
So you get to the 48, you get to the 38, you get to the 39, no matter what it is. They've been prepared for it. That's how I look at it. So that's what this team's about, is doing that. They don't really care about, hey, we need a field goal kicker that can go 60 yards, this, that. So I'm not too worried about it. If I'm being completely honest, I think they play their style of football, and that's how they're going to keep winning games, playing your football at the highest level.
The offense was certainly on display today, Boone. Now, my question is we know what some of our issues could be once we get into the playoffs. My question for you is what are the other teams in the NFC not prepared for when they have to square off against this Detroit Lions team in the playoffs?
I think, if we're being honest, when it comes to the playoffs, did you guys see the defense today? that defense looked like a different defense. And I understand they gave up. They were up, 21-7 or whatever it was, and they gave up through 2 touchdowns back-to-back. Love you, bro.
I love you guys. I'm going to celebrate with my dad. I got to go celebrate with him. I love you guys. Appreciate you.
Love
Pete's
you too,
got a
buddy.
lot of after-game sound from multiple different players.
Sounds good.
Love you,
Hey,
brothers.
this defense today, though, Anson, it showed you what they can do at a high level in spurts. Now, when they put this back-to-back together and they start putting this defense together and the offense, what it is, top 5 offense in the NFL. This team, and I talk about the Booner path all the time. I say the Booner path to the Super Bowl, it is alive and well. You win your next 2 games, and maybe you don't even have to do that. Maybe other teams help you out, and you get the 2 seed. They are not losing at Ford Field. Whether it's week 1 or week 2 in the playoffs, they will not lose in Ford Field. And if they do get the 2 seed, I think they're going to have a chance to win to go to a Super Bowl. I truly believe that, and I don't think there's NFC teams ready for it. And we talk about the 49ers. And this might just be me just absolutely just on another level right now on the blue Kool-Aid. But there's the 49ers, yes, but there's the Cowboys, Eagles, and Lions. And the Lions can beat those 2 teams any day, anywhere, anytime. And if they're playing at their best, they'll give the 49ers a run for their money. You saw that defense, 4 interceptions today. And they got the job done when it mattered at the end. I think this defense, if they're rolling, Anson, they're a little different.
Yeah, we're going to see an NFC East opponent in the second round, most likely, whether it's Dallas or Philly. But I do believe that both of those teams we can match up with, and we can win, especially in Detroit. San Francisco's a whole different story, but they still got to get there as well. Now, I love the fact that we're handling business right now and giving this team, who doesn't have much experience, if any at all, in the playoffs. Obviously Goff has some.
Yep.
But to give these guys the opportunity to learn that experience while hosting playoff games, that's crucial.
Yeah, I mean, this felt like a playoff game to me. Last week, Denver, when you were down, you just got beat by the Bears, felt like a playoff game to me.
Yeah.
You're going in on the road to Dallas, who's won 15 straight or 16 straight at home. That's a playoff game. They're getting prepared for the playoffs in the regular season right now, and so when they get there, and like you said, there are a lot of young guys. Look at like Jahmyr Gibbs today.
Yeah.
Sam Laporta last week.
Yeah.
Who was it in the back end? Brian Branch today.
Yeah.
These rookies, Brad Holmes. Hat off to Brad Holmes.
The guys making plays today outside of Jared Goff, nobody was older than 3-4 years in the league.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The longevity that's ahead of this team and afforded to them because of their roster makeup, they've got to be the envy of most teams in the league.
I think so. I think they are. Hey, do we have callers? Or
I think
we have some. And we have sound. I have tons of sound.
I want to hear the sound. Let's get this. This is a party right now.
How about we hear from the head coach? What do you guys say?
Yes, please.
All right, here we go. It's only 20 seconds.
Special. It's something you don't get to do all the time. They're always special to win division. I don't care how many of them you get, because of the work that goes into it. But to do something that hasn't been done in 30 years for a team is special. And that's a special group of men back in there. They're the same team at this point.
Do you see that shirt he's wearing there, Anson? That 2023 NFC North champion shirt. That man was on the 0-16 team.
That's right.
And now he's seeing this.
You getting yourself one of those?
I will. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest. They put him out at that Meijer in East Lansing. I was at a Meijer yesterday. I was looking for him. I was confident in this football team. I was going to get one. So when they did win today, I was going to throw it on in front of the people. So I will get one of those for sure.
Since Campbell arrived here, he's easily been one of the most polarizing figures, at least in Detroit sports, but also in national sports.
Yep.
And to see a lot of the Lions fans and the pundits in town turn on him last year the way that they did, and obviously, a lot of it was well-deserved. You start a season off 1-6, you're going to get some backlash. But what this guy has done, I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen somebody that isn't actually on the field or on the court embraced by the public like Dan Campbell is here in Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, he's brought the culture. I think that's the thing that the SOL crowd, and I know I'm not going to look at you for that.
We're not saying that today.
The SOL crowd, that whole thing, the biggest thing with that is the culture.
Yes.
And today you felt it. Last year when they were 1-6, do you remember when Sheila came out at 1-5 and addressed the media and the fans and looked every single fan in the eyes and said, do not worry. I love the people in place, and we're going to keep this train rolling. And guess what? They finished 8-2 after that. And then this year, this is happening right now. It is a different culture. Dan Campbell brought it in. They had Brad Holmes, who is same culture as Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell has that that whole brand new Lions mentality, he is the epitome of it. He is the exact epitome of what this Detroit Lions team, organization, and everything is about. You guys saw it on the field today, man. You guys saw it on the field. Kool-Aid, we got some callers?
Yeah. And
I want to hear from the people, baby.
Let's go. Let's keep this party
we
going,
got
man.
Warren from Ohio.
All right.
Warren.
What up, fellas?
What's up, baby?
Oh, man, it is so lovely to hear that the Detroit Lions are the NFC North champs. Man,
Were you
I'm
around
48
last time?
years old.
Oh, okay. So this
Man,
is new
I'm
for
48
you.
years old, been going up and down. I am so happy, man. If the Detroit Lions are your NFC North champs, give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
That's right. Man, I'm so pumped up. Man, I tell you, watching this game, I usually be nervous because, you know, the Lions would usually mess something up. But, man, I was so calm and collective and just watching them, and they came through like they were supposed to do. Win this championship, this NFC North championship. Dan Campbell said he don't care about whatever goes on. They was trying to give all the stipulation scenarios. If Seattle lose, we would win. No, Dan Campbell planted his flag in Minnesota, and we won it. We won the North Championship. We didn't need help getting in there. We did it ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we played that game last year, and it didn't go so well for us. So we just took it for ourselves this season.
Do you guys remember in the stream and we were sorry, go ahead, Warren.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, you know, I don't know. There was a little bit of conundrum, but if you seen the way we won that game on the interception, was the same way that Michigan won against Ohio State to end the game on the interception, baby. How sweet it is.
Yeah, it's a hell of a year that's turning out for the state of Michigan at this point and football. Yeah. You know, I mean, these two teams have an opportunity to do something that the majority of people around here weren't alive to see. I mean, obviously Michigan had a great season in '97, but it's been so long, and there's been so much turmoil and changeover. What the Lions are doing right now for everybody in this city, for the callers, I mean, people are wanting to stick around for the show here later. I know Pete's got some more footage. This is just such an exciting day for the young and the old Lions fans.
And I wanted to say, too, when we did the stream here, at the end of the game, the defense was out on the field, and we were just getting comments in there, SOL. I started personally blocking some of those people, and I just said, let's just get positive vibes. This is a new team. This is a new regime. The fan base has came back up from the ashes, and this is a whole new fan base, it feels like. Yeah. People with more energy. Everything feels different about what's going on with this football team right now, and I, like, when we see the SOL stuff, and I know we joke around with you, and we talk back there, and it's like, that's not like when there are truly people out there who are SOL and hate this team and want to just go at you, but the true fan base, the people who are enjoying this right now, I mean, we put videos out all the time, and we'll have so many bad comments about the Lions. Today, go look at the comments. Every single one of this fan base is coming together, kind of taking that next step, saying, hey, we're taking that next step as a real organization and a football team. I don't think people realize how meaningful of a game this really was inside of Detroit. Like, people outside are like, oh, Lions fans are having fun. This actually means a lot for the city, for the fans, the organizations, coaches, players. This is a huge day, in my opinion, for the Lions team.
And that's a great point, but I'm going to take it even further on what you said, because the young guys, they've been dying for this. They've been just thirsting for it. But the old heads, myself included, kept waiting for the breakdown, kept waiting for the letdown. And what we have seen, the older fans, it doesn't feel the same. You know, the trap games like today that Lions teams of the past, Pete, you know this is a game we lost.
Yes, sir.
And so it's exciting, and seeing the way that they're drafting and developing players and just the whole culture change. But when you start to see games like this that historically went one way, go another, it starts in week 16, not in week 6, but it starts to blend and weave these old school fans with the pure optimism of the young fans. Boy, Ford Field's just gonna be wild.
Hey, in the chat real quick, Gerald, 78 years old, And finally, a great Sunday. Go Lions, baby. Awesome. Shout out to Gerald. I love hearing those stories of old Lions fans, man. They call into Woodward nights all the time, and they're like, hey, I'm 60, I'm 70. I have not seen this yet. Well, it's been 30 years, and you guys got to see it, and we got to enjoy it. Do we have any? Where are we going here with this?
How about some Jared Goff?
Oh, I would love to hear from the quarterback.
Oh, boy.
Man.
Here we go, boys. Extended. And again, all shout-outs to Jennifer Hammond. Thanks very much for the sound,
Thank
Fox
you.
2.
The hammer.
Yeah, there's a lot of, obviously you feel proud of yourself and but overwhelmingly being proud of being a part of this group and being a part of a group that's gotten Taylor and Frank and Graham to this point and being able to do that together, it's really special. I know those guys have grinded just a lot of times and we've been a part of some of them together and to be able to stand here as division champs, it's awesome. And it's just
Booner, this is Goff's team.
It is.
And even when it was Stafford here as a Lion, as talented as he has, with the stats that he had, I never saw him have control of the locker room and the personality of this team the way that Jared Goff does.
He controls his team. I mean, as much as people want to hate on the ducks and the throws, and I think he himself would admit, like, passes aren't beautiful. I might not be able to throw it great. I might not be able to move as well as Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. But I'm going to tell you one thing. We're going to win football games. We're going to go out there and we're going to have a great offense. Ben Johnson's going to put us in positions to be successful. I'm going to get the ball to St. Brown. I'm going to get the ball to J-Mo. I'm going to get the ball to Jameer. He's different in a way to where he's a winner. Yeah. And I think we're starting to see that. So the people who do hate him, want to get rid of him, this man wins. Don't be so quick. When the grass isn't always greener on the other side of the fence or whatever the saying is, don't be so quick to want to switch to Hendon Hooker because this man wins you football games. He is one win away from tying the record for all-time wins in Detroit Lions history, and they are 2 wins away from breaking the record and having the best Detroit Lions team of all time that you guys have ever seen in your life.
One of the things that I think a lot of people just glance over with him is the resiliency of Jared Goff throughout his career. This is a guy that came in as a number 1 pick, took some flack, but then took his team to a Super Bowl and then basically got cast out of LA. And then he came here. He was on his ass the whole first 1.5 years that he was here.
Yeah, it was a rebuild, man.
But at no point have we seen him look scared in the pocket. At no point have we seen him lose his optimism. Just 2 weeks ago after we lost that game, you saw the interviews with Goff, and no big deal. We'll be back next week. We haven't seen this team repeat losses all year. I don't know if I've ever seen a Lions team not have back-to-back losses in a season.
Yeah, I don't think I'm only 26, so I can't go that far back. But no, I'm with you on that. I mean, they find a way, even when they look bad in games like that first Bear games, they find a way to get it done, and that's what championship teams do. That, and after that Bears game, and then that you felt that it was like, oh no, what's happening? Packers game, oh no, what panic, and I sat over there on Woodward nights, and I tried to calm the people down. Like, listen, the state of, we always do this segment on the days after Lions games, and it's called State of the Detroit Lions. Want to see where the fan base is at, where that's at. And after that Packers game, people were down. And if you would have told them in a couple weeks you're going to beat the Vikings to win the first division, there was actually people on air doing things that are saying, hey, they might not win a division still. That's how bad it felt like they were. But guess what? In that stretch, they were 4-2, Anson. That's where, when I come to you about the brand new Lions and say, it's like how bad of a stretch that was for 6 games, and they were 4-2. What Lions team has ever done that?
Oh, that was a big thing for me. A team that can go -8 over 6 games in turnovers, play as bad as they did and still win 4-2, you just don't see that. I mean, listen, you look at this team's 4 losses this year. Great, and probably the best team in the AFC they lost to in the Baltimore Ravens. A very, very good Seattle team that may or may not make the playoffs this year. But then 2 other division opponents. Every other good Lions team, even great Lions team in my past, they lost games they had no business losing. Yeah. And they lost them bad.
I mean, today, the chat, as soon as they got the ball, the Vikings got the ball back, you have all those SOL people coming out like, oh, here we go. This is one of those games. And they have proven over and over again in games to where, and the amount of times I sit over there and then 20 minutes later I'm drinking Kool-Aid after I see SOL or hear SOL when they're about to get us out. Remember Kansas City, got a turnover on downs to win the game. Chicago Bears, Hutch, sack to win the game, fumble, sack, safety to win the game. Today, interception to win the game. They keep showing up, and they just Anson. They keep getting better and better, and they're not slowing down. It doesn't feel like they're slowing down.
Yeah. The cohesion of this team from the front office to the field is amazing. We got any more callers over there?
Callers are
and two more cuts.
We got two more
Two more
callers.
callers.
Right. We got
A caller
Jack
and
from
a cut.
Tennessee first, and then Woody from Pennsylvania.
Who was it?
Jack from Tennessee.
Jack Daniels from Tennessee, baby.
What's up, Jack?
Hey, buddy, I got a shot at Jack Daniels for everybody. How's that? But listen, guys, you know, I live in Tampa, but I'm with my grandkids at a hotel in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and at the end of that game, I had to walk out. I had tears in my eyes. I'm 52 years old.
My man.
My grandpa used to take me. My grandpa used to take me to the Pontiac Silverdome. I was one of them that was there when the Lions went 0-16. Okay. I wore my Detroit Lions jersey every day, every Sunday. I said, today is the day, today is the day. And unfortunately, my father passed away like 2 months ago. You know, I just had to walk out of my hotel room. I had tears in my eyes. My grandson walked out and says, "Papa, what's wrong?" You know, I mean, I coach college football at the NAIA level in Florida, and our team won the championship this past year, and I cried. But today, I think I don't know if it was tears of joy. You know, I mean, it's just for all them kids who ever made fun of me for wearing my Lions jersey. You know, they can all just sit and spin. That's what I'm saying today. I told my grandson, you know, you don't ever give up a dream. You know,
that's right.
This was my papa's dream. This is my dad's dream, and you know, I was able. I wasn't at the game, but I was able to be there with my grandson and my granddaughter.
Well,
and they witnessed.
I promise your father's there with you and your family as well today, enjoying that game, man. And it's a great story. It's a story that's common through a lot of Detroiters, but it's wonderful that you got to share that today with your grandson, and I know that his grandfather and your father are watching today as well.
Buddy, all I want to say is go Lions. You bring on Dak Prescott and them Cowgirls, because I think if the Melifonwu's he's gonna get a pick six, and then he's just gonna he's going to run right over and just hand the ball to Dak Prescott and slap him on the helmet. Go Lions.
Lions, baby. Go Lions, man. Appreciate you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas as well. I think that's awesome because, I mean, you're probably the same for you. It's like the Lions, no matter how bad they were, it's like everyone's still cheering. Like if you're a Lions fan, you're like you take pride in them going. Like I know it sucked 0-16, but everyone still took pride in being a Lions fan, and that's the coolest thing. Some fan bases are like, oh no, we're done. We're like people took pride in the Lions, and it shows. And now you win the division. I think everyone can say
there's
it was
no
worth
other
it.
fan base that has a collective pain that the Lions fan base does.
Yep.
You know, and easing that and letting it go finally is so cathartic. What do we got over there, Pete?
Well, I'll you know, they're both great cuts. You guys pick either Frank Ragnow or Taylor Decker. Which one do you want first?
Let's get Taylor Decker. Taylor Decker has waited a long time for success in Detroit.
No doubt.
All right, Taylor Decker it is. Here we go, boys.
Just to want to be respected as a team and be looked at as a winner. And yeah, I've cried plenty. I've probably cried more today than I have probably the last, I don't know, probably my whole career. It's probably mostly cried. Just because it means a lot to me. You just spend so much time putting into it, and to be able to, have the NFC North championship in return for all the stuff that you put into it. It's special. It feels good, and it makes you appreciate the hard way to get there.
This offensive line is really the heart and soul of this team. It's great to see them enjoy some success finally.
I think Taylor, I could be wrong, and if people in the chat, you guys want to kind of correct me on this, I'm pretty sure Taylor Decker is the longest tenured Detroit Lion. He was there in 2016 now. He's been a guy that has lost his whole career. In 2016, I mean, they were winning, but they just lost, and he played in one playoff and lost in the wild card, and since then he's never been back to the playoffs. 6-win season, 3-win, 5-win, 3-win, 9, now 11. Like that man has been through it. That's why instead of Frank, I was like, let's do. Taylor has been through it, man, and it's been known, man.
So before we go to that last call, I want to bring up that shirt that he was wearing. He's got the "It's a Lock." You know where that comes from? The Safe House, which is what they've been calling Ford Field lately.
Oh,
and that's where they go to hold it down. It sounds like we're going to be doing that in the playoffs here as well. But the "It's a Lock" shirts are pretty cool, man.
I'm excited too. And next week, I'm excited for next week. Dallas Cowboys, baby.
Oh yeah. Who else we got there? Kool-Aid, our last call of the night.
Hey, we got Woody from Pennsylvania.
Pentown? What's up, Woody?
Woody, what's up, man? Go Lions,
hey guys.
baby.
How you doing? What's up? Yeah, that's right. I've called in 3 times before. I just wanted to call in real quick because I'm 45 years old. I've been a Lions fan since I was 5, so 40 years. So
1978.
When it comes to the SOL stuff, when it comes to the SOL stuff, I know what's been going on, and I haven't trashed my team. I can see for a long time that this team's been different. But there is one thing that I've been saying. They had to show me that they are not like every other team I've seen for the last 30 years that would rip my heart out. And today, they did it. Because that game with the missed extra point, and they couldn't get the first down, every other Lions team in my generation, since they've won in 93, they would have lost in the last play of the game by 1 point. And
all the time.
Iffy came up with that play, and they have now shown me that they are not these teams that have broken my heart for the last 30 years. I was up here with my kids. I had a meltdown saying "Merry fucking Christmas." I couldn't. This was my Christmas. This was my Christmas. But they enjoyed every second of it. And I will say this: as far as Iffy goes, guys, remember now 4 of our best defensive games of the year he's been a part of. He started against Atlanta when Kirby went down against Seattle, and he was there starting in Green Bay, and then he came back for the Chicago game. I know they lost. He played good, and he's been instrumental the last 2 games. I mean, that interception right there, that's going to go down in Lions lore for a very long time.
No doubt. We'll be watching that.
So I would just like to say, I would just like to say that today, for all Lions fans that have taken so much shit for so many years, it is our time to see the word champion next to that emblem.
That is awesome.
And damn, it feels good.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas to you guys. I love the network.
We love you, buddy. And
We
you
appreciate
deserve
that,
that win.
That was
Merry
awesome.
Christmas, man.
That was
Merry
awesome.
Christmas for sure.
Thank you. You too, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, real quick, Iffy Melifonwu, 2 sacks, 2 tackle for losses, 2 quarterback hits, 2 pass deflections, and the game-winning interception.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. And when CJ comes back next week, I don't know what AG is going to do in the secondary, but he's going to have to. There's going to be some moving around because I don't think you could take Iffy off the field right now.
It's choices. And what this team, after we made a big splash in free agency, but then suffered the injuries that we did, it hasn't been a luxury for us. And now it's going to become a luxury at the perfect time of the season.
Yep.
Absolutely. Got anything else for us, Pete?
How about Mr. Ragnow? Rags himself.
Let's hear from all of the offensive line.
Yeah, Campbell called us up and it got pretty emotional. It's just kind of overwhelming.
What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to keep going?
I mean, you guys know, fans know. There's a lot of hard work that goes into this.
Go until
day in,
6.
day out that a lot of people don't see. And, to kind of come up short for years and years and years in a row, and then to reach this, and this is just the beginning, but just to reach division champs, there's not really words that can describe it. I think, I was looking at Taylor and we both just started crying. It's just like emotions overcoming you because you don't realize how much it means to you until it happens,
Lions players, they've realized success at every level in their NFL career.
Yeah.
And that's something that you hear from a lot of the guys in the past that have come to Detroit and just never taste it. And so when you get caught up in that kind of losing for even when it was there before you, you start to take out that mentality. And I think what you could see out of Frank there was the relief of finally getting this championship in the North.
Yeah, I mean, Anson, this is crazy, huh?
Yeah, I know.
I'm locked in. My phone's just blowing. I'm getting phone calls. Lucas is calling me live on air right now. That's why I'm sorry. I was locked in. Yeah, I don't have the whole thing, especially the offensive line. I said at the beginning of the earlier today and Woodward Nights, I said I think at the end of the game ball is going to go to the offensive line, and those guys. like they're the best in the NFL at what they do. Like that's crazy to say you have on your football team is the best offensive line unit in the NFL, and then you add on those running backs in the back, man, and then Jared Goff, who can people like go at him for being like saying the game manager. But he does it at the highest of the levels that no one else in the NFL can do, in my opinion. So kudos to them. Kudos to the offensive line because they deserve this.
Do game managers make clutch throws like that man does?
He does. He makes big throws
after week.
He does make.
Really
I mean,
does,
think
man.
about even the first Bears game. What he did on those two. Yes, he had the interceptions and the turnovers. What did he do after that? How does a guy respond to something? That is a championship kind of pedigree there. Like that is what you're built up. Like it's either you win or you don't. Like there's guys, Dak Prescott's, who get all of that hate because they throw interceptions to do this. Guess what Dak typically doesn't do? He doesn't go and win those games where he throws 3 interceptions. He throws 3 interceptions and gets clowned in the media. Jared Goff throws 3 interceptions or 3 turnovers in a game versus the Bears, and he goes down in 2 possessions and goes and get a 2-possession game and wins the football game. And then he's literally 11 wins for the Detroit Lions.
Okay,
One win away from tying the all-time record.
So you brought him up. Let's go around the room here. Next week, Dallas, Detroit.
Yeah.
Who you got?
The Detroit Lions.
What's the score and why?
It's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to say it's going to be 38-31.
Ooh.
Like a high-scoring game.
Points.
I think it's going to. Yes, I just think it's just a very, very a shootout in Dallas. I think the Detroit Lions, the way they're playing right now, I have a TV right here watching the Dallas Cowboys. The Dolphins just took a lead against them, I believe, or I think I could be wrong. I think they just took a lead. This Dallas team, they're going to start down a little. They were up and Dak was up, but the way this Detroit Lions team, not just the way they play, but like persevere, they could be down in that game versus Dallas, and they're going to still fight and try and win that football game. And I think they get it done in Dallas. If I'm being, and that might be just a slappy. I just drank this whole thing of Kool-Aid and a couple beers, but I think the Detroit Lions get the job done on Sunday or
Speaking
Saturday
of
night.
Kool-Aid, what about you? What are you thinking?
Hey, look, the score that he just mentioned, that's what I was thinking too. A high-scoring affair. The Lions defense has a little bit of that bend but don't break. I like what AG's been dialing up lately, and I believe that as long as he can go to some of those looks that have befuddled quarterbacks the last couple weeks. You know, we saw Russell Wilson and we saw Nick Mullins. He had a little bit of success, but then all of a sudden he switches up the looks. He switches up how the corners are blitzing, how the linebackers are blitzing. I believe that they're going to give Dak Prescott a little bit of run for his money, and they're going to come out with a 38-31 win.
Ooh.
I really do.
What about you, Pete?
I've watched a lot of football over the years,
Don't do it,
boys.
Pete, man. Come on.
A lot of football I've
what he's
watched
doing.
over the years, man. And, you know, coming off a big victory like this against Dallas in Dallas, and they're competing against the Eagles for a division title, and I know the Lions are competing for the 2 seed. High-scoring game. Lions lose by 3.
Wow.
You know, I hope that I am absolutely wrong on this, but I see 41-38 Dallas. If this game goes 31-28,
We just won the division, and we're talking losses now? Can everyone in the chat right now, you guys know the Booner Path, we're going to go get the 2 seed and go play in the NFC Championship game. But everyone comment right now that you're on the Booner Path. Don't listen to these guys who say the Detroit Lions are losing. If you're a part of the path and you want to go win football, just like we won the 2023 NFC North champs, baby.
Booner
The NFC North champs.
Let's go.
They're going to beat Dallas. They're going to beat the Vikings. They're going to get the 2 seed, and they're going to go to the NFC Championship game, and then we'll deal with that. Everyone put in there the Booner Path. We're rolling with it. I don't care what. We're drinking the Kool-Aid all the way down Woodward, baby.
All right, so Lions teams of the past, they're going in there. It's a close game, and they're losing. Pete made some great points about the letdown that we've seen from this team in the past. This was a letdown week after the Denver game. Lions are winning in Dallas next week. And I said they will lose 41-38, but they will win if it's 31-28. I'm going on the record. Lions have found a new gear. their defense that's suddenly healthy is going to bring that new gear, that extra gear down to Dallas, and I think that we're going to win one. I think the Lions want to play 2 games at home in the playoffs. So
you know what? They're not resting players. They're not doing any. They're going out there to beat Dallas. This is a real football team. This is a real organization. They're going to go win this game in Dallas, and then they're going to come back home and give another gift to the Detroit Lions fans at Ford Field in 2 weeks.
Hey, salute to the Booner Path.
The Booner Path. We are there. Hashtag Booner Path.
Let's trailblaze together. Let's do it.
Salute to the Booner Path. We are on, and we are going.
Let's go. Let's do it. Well, man.
And I said it too. I said it too. If the Detroit Lions get that 2 seed, there will be an NFC Championship appearance from your Detroit Lions.
That's right.
And there is an opportunity, if a team knocks off the 49ers, that there is an NFC Championship game hosted in Ford Field if someone knocks off the 49ers. The Detroit Lions, the Booner Path is alive.
Oh, there it is.
It is back. There were some potholes a couple weeks ago. It was overgrown. It is finally back. We went and we cleaned it up. We're back, baby.
So, Booner, you'll be back here tomorrow, too. Tell us about the shows we got online.
Well, actually, so tomorrow, I think there's just a couple best ofs from a couple shows.
Okay.
And then on Tuesday, we'll all be back 8 a.m., obviously, morning Woodward show. 11, BDE, Big D Energy with Neil and D-Mac. E&E after that with Pete.
No, I will be at Ford Field. I'm going to be at Ford Field with Maz for the Bowling Green.
I may go do that.
Yeah, go Falcons, Bowling Green against Minnesota. We beat Minnesota in 2021. We're going to beat them again at Ford Field in front of all the Detroit Lions fans, but that's where I'm going to be on the 26th. Come see Maz and me there, and possibly Booner, and possibly Jeff Iafrady too, baby.
And 5 o'clock heavyweights, and then if you guys want to keep joining the Booner Path and come along with me on this journey, 8 p.m. on Tuesday.
Woodward.
8 to 10 p.m.
do it.
Come to Woodward Nights, 8 to 10 p.m. for the Booner Path and to celebrate this beautiful Detroit Lions championship, man.
Wow. I appreciate you and your enthusiasm each and every week.
I appreciate you, Anson.
I know you hit on all your bets, so if you guys are smart at home, you're tuning in to Booner's Bets. This guy is on fire this season.
Booner's Bets, I love it.
My man over here in the booth, Pete, and my other man over here, Mr. Basketball himself, Kool-Aid. Man, what an awesome show. We've come so long, 3.5 seasons until we can put it together, guys. And thank you guys at home, the Woodward faithful. We appreciate you guys tuning in every week.
You guys are the best, man. You guys are the best.
Enjoy this one with your families.
Merry Christmas.
We are NFC North champions, Detroit Lions. Let's go, Woodward
We
Sports.
are the champions. Love you guys.